I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow. Welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, Inside the Mega Events. It's a $1 trillion sports business, to be sure, and about 50 to 60% of those dollars are wrapped up in the mega events, the championships, Super Bowls, All-Star Games, World Series, Wimbledon, tennis majors, golf majors, NASCAR championships, IndyCar championships, Ryder Cup. All of those too numerous to mention. I'm in my office to kick off the show, but I'm not here a lot. I'll be on the road on a weekly basis to bring you the inside tips from those major events. The balance sheets, who wins, who loses, the interviews, how you put on the events, and how you sustain them. This is all brought to you by Edelman Financial.
Money doesn't come with instructions. That's why we created Edelman Financial Services to help you with everything from college and retirement planning to managing your investments, helping you achieve retirement security. We're among the nation's top financial advisors. Come see how we can help you.
Sports professor Rick Horrow. I am not in the field. I'm tired. But the NHL All-Star Game, the Super Bowl, and just got back home. So, yeah, I didn't dress up. Sorry. You want to do something about it? Here's the bottom line. Super Bowl 53 came and went. It's over. And all of you lamenting about whether this was the best or worst Super Bowl of all time, defense or offense. Hey, Patriots 6 in the last 18 years, so suck it up and deal with it. It is an iconic franchise of which we have really never seen. And it brings back the likes of Cal Ripken and playing in the Tiger Woods era and Jack Nicklaus and Babe Ruth. What would it have been like to be in the prime of those careers? Well, you ought to be happy now because that's what you're seeing today. But let me give you, after a week of reflection, maybe 5 days of reflection, let me give you 5 overall perceptions about Super Bowl 53. Number 1, corporate America wins the day yet again. Coke out. Pepsi in a Coke town dominated the landscape. Not only their activation and their halftime show, which was good and bad, but people were talking about it, but the bottom line was they colored the town blue. Same thing with Hyundai relative to Mercedes-Benz. After all, Mercedes-Benz spent a pretty penny naming the stadium after them, but yet Hyundai, the official sponsor of the NFL, they got the chops because the logo for the Super Bowl, look hard, didn't include Mercedes-Benz. That was really important. Delta, basically unfettered and left alone. There is no official airline partner of the NFL. Delta, an Atlanta town, clearly very important. Look at some of the numbers in retrospect, though. It's kind of really important to understand it. IEG did a study, and they said that the NFL sponsorship across the 32 teams grew about 5% to $1.3 billion during the season. McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Intuit, Sleep Number. Sleep Number was one of the key new investors and advertisers. Sponsorships with 100% of the NFL properties. Ticketmaster wins that award. Bud Light, Budweiser, 88%. Gatorade, Microsoft, Bose, over 70% of the league. Bottom line is this. Sponsorship, really important, and that brings the dollars, regardless of good or bad the individual commercials were. Number 2, perception. Atlanta did a great job in all material ways. Well, with notwithstanding Georgia-based companies being shut out because of what I just said, Atlanta had a price tag of over $70 million to do the deal. Game expenses, $375,000 media party, law enforcement, additional security, on and on and on. 2 local businesses donated $20 million. $16 million from the city, $10 million from the sales tax exemption. The bottom line is they generate economic impact of $185 million, well over the 70, firmly putting Atlanta in a legitimate Super Bowl rotation. By the way, the fact that the weather at kickoff was about 58, 60 degrees certainly didn't hurt. Tailgate inside, key to outside, really, really important event. Tampa Bay, LA, Arizona, New Orleans, South Florida, and not to mention Vegas and their new stadium, all formidable Super Bowl contenders long term. Do not discount Atlanta. Number 3, the philanthropic platform. RISE, the Ross Institute for Sports and Equality. I was honored enough to be part of that ceremony. Paul Tagliabue MCs at the King Center, the NFL Character Playbook with EverFi, Dan Marino, Anquan Bolden, 2 Hall of Famers, Men of the Year, also part of the structure of a Wednesday night event I was happy to be part of, along with Brian Gallagher, the CEO of United Way, and others. Very important philanthropic efforts all over the place. Philanthropy generally increased about 12%. Nowhere was it more evident than at Super Bowl 53. Number 4th perception, Americans need a holiday. They need to eat. Do you realize that according to the folks that measure this, 14,500 tons of chips, 8 million pounds of guacamole, 10 million pounds of ribs, all ingested Super Bowl weekend. Not surprisingly, a call for a day off on Monday, antacid and Pepto-Bismol sales go through the roof, and people who called in sick, yeah, maybe they were sick, maybe they were just smart. Bottom line is, as the event continues to outshine the game, let's understand it is important as a holiday celebration, and maybe most important, it brings the country together amid a time of mammoth turbulence. Good for the NFL. Finally, the NFL never sleeps. We're going to have a work stoppage in 2021. Is it going to shut down a $16 billion business? Where are we going with the future of the NFL? What about celebrations? Who's going to be picked in the draft? What about the combine? Well, before the ink was dry on Super Bowl 53, remember that ad celebrating the 100 seasons of the NFL? Patrick Mahomes, Jerry Rice, Franco Harris, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, others all talk about how important the NFL is as a fabric of society. But here's what I took away as the number 5 and final point. The NFL never, ever, ever, ever sleeps. Promotes a gigantic product, more significant basically as a branding exercise than any other. And before the game is even over, they're talking about what the plans are for the 100th anniversary season next year. That's what I call being on the game. Kudos to the Patriots, congratulations to the Rams, and most important, congratulations to the NFL. Rick Horrow, Facebook Mega Events. Looking at the next mega event this week. Yeah, I'm home this week. Talk to you soon.